Hello, and welcome back to Satisfactory, Outposts in the Desert. This should be an exciting episode. We're going to hopefully start setting up our coal power, which means, uh, our first look at the new fluid system in Satisfactory. Right off the bat, let's unlock coal power in the hub. We should have all of this. Let's just pop in what we've got. And then we'll need to gather the resources we'll need to really set up a solid power outpost. Plenty of wire. We're collecting reinforced iron plates and a chest over here, but we've only got one assembler working, so we don't have a ton. It's rotors. Here we go. Let's just take all of those. We're going to need them for the belts. Alright. Coal power. Now let's take a look at everything that included.
Milestone reached. Coal is an improved alternative power source to biomass and can be fully automated if provided water with the new pipeline buildings and power throughout the initial setup. Coal has been added to the resource scanner. Note: ensure the close proximity of water to the coal production line. Note: pumps will aid in vertical transport of fluids through pipes. Note: throughput and volume indicators are added to each pipe section automatically.
Okay, thanks Ada. It's a lot of information there. So we've got the coal generators themselves, where the power is produced from coal and water. The water extractors to pull the water out of the lake or ocean that you're using. The pipes, support for the pipes, junctions for the pipes, pumps to propel water across either long distances or up inclines, a fluid buffer, and the ability to scan for coal. Is there anything else we really need right off the bat? I don't think we can. Yeah, it's not worth it yet. Oh no. They put the stackable pipeline supports in with Logistics Mark III. Alright. That's not ideal. But we can make this work. We can always just go back later and adjust that. Okay, so we're going to be limited to our Mark II belts right now. We've only got Mark I miners. Mark II miners are added in Tier 4. Yeah, advanced steel. So we're still a ways away from Mark II miners. So let's think about what we're going to need. I know there are 2 pure nodes to the north near a lake, so we'll include 2 Mark II miners. We're going to start with 15 generators. We want 6 water extractors. I don't know how many pumps we're going to need. Let's go with 6 for now. We're going to need, man, a lot of pipes. I'm not really sure. I guess we'll start with 50, maybe 20 junctions, 30 of those. And then, the standard power poles, lots of power lines. Okay, so we've got a big list here. And of course we're going to want concrete to build our foundation. Oh, okay, copper sheets for pipes. So the first thing we need to do here is switch up our copper production. We're going to move these last two constructors that are just making wire. We're going to convert those into copper sheets. Now it's not going to be completely efficient because copper wire requires 15 ingots per minute. Copper sheets require 20, but it's a start. Let's just quickly move all this wire over. We'll put a storage box here. Alright. We're going to need every inventory space that we can have. Okay, so we're making copper sheets for our pipes. We only need 300. I mean, I imagine we'll need more than that, but that's a start. While we're here, we finished our blade runners that we started at the end of the last episode. Let's just take a peek. Yeah, we need more Caterium. I wish we could do Power Pulse Mark II, but we'll get to that. Let's make ourselves some blade runners. Oh, nice. Have the materials on us. We'll make a factory cart too. We haven't done that. Oh man. The factory cart is a one hammer construction process, so you can really pump them out quickly if you're not careful. Okay, we'll demo this really quickly. You put the factory cart in an arm slot, throw it down like a portable miner. And then you can just drive it around. It is faster than running initially on foundations. It's worth noting that this is really impossible to control if you're on the sand and not on foundations. If you left click your mouse, you'll throw a little light on top of it. It's cool. You know, it's really easily obstructed by belts, but if you've got the room to go around, it's a fun toy. And funnily enough, it does have the ability to be automated, and it's even got a single inventory space, so it can interact with truck stations. Unfortunately, it is not faster than running with blade runners. Blade runners are actually faster than the golf cart. Okay, back to our shopping list. Oh, we're going to need more reinforced plates for sure. Grab the rotors and the cables. Is that really? Yeah, we've really got everything else. We'll need to make 2 portable miners for our Mark I miners. Okay. Let's grab some plates. Any Fulham plates here? That's nice. That'll be useful later for sure. Oh, really nice. Okay. Let's throw down craft bench and just bust out as many reinforced plates as we can here. So we need a lot of reinforced plates for, I'm not sure what exactly. Okay, each extractor is 10. Each coal generator is 20. Yeah, that'll do it. So we'll make enough to get our machines set up, and then we'll probably run back here and collect more reinforced plates to use for the actual belting. Or, alternatively, we could just set up like one section of our power outpost. There are so many variables in setting up coal power now as opposed to before. Before, you just needed to match your coal output to the coal consumption of the generators, and you're done. That was it. Now you've got a much larger list of variables to consider, and I will try to go through all of those. As soon as we are finished with our reinforced plates here. Don't actually need any frames, so we can leave those behind. Equip this again too. So we'll need every single inventory space that we can grab here. Alright, nearly done. Now we'll need to see if we need the copper sheets for the buildings themselves, or if it's just for the piping between the extractors and the generators. I'm not sure. I've spent a fair amount of time researching the new fluid system, and there's a fair amount of not completely accurate information floating about right now. There we go. Okay, so we do need 20 sheets for each extractor. None for the generators. Okay. So 20 times 6, that's 120 copper sheets. We probably have close to that already in our storage container over there. Let's just get ourselves to 400 here, and then we'll call it enough. We'll need a little bit of belting to get us started. Alright, perfect. Throw some of these excess plates in here. Just don't have the room. No, let's not do that. There we go. Now we need to pick up 200 rotors. And cable and copper sheets. Okay, we're short on copper sheets. We out of copper. looks like copper's backed up on the cable, but not on the wire and sheets. Okay, so while this processes a little bit, we can go ahead and start making our way over there. I may regret this, but I'm going to just lay like a single line of foundations over, so that it will be our outpost over there will be aligned with this area. If I, decide that that's important to me later in the game. Take the time to do it now, and then you won't have to, tear everything down and fix it later. Well, that's a mess. So we're heading over to a location that's near water for the extractors, and also near coal nodes. Those are the two resources we need to fuel our coal generators. Is this the water? Let's just go ahead and find our coal nodes. They're over here to the north. Oh, they're really out here. I don't know if we'll want to belt it in. Well, I guess we'll have to belt it in. We don't have trucks yet. Let's deal with this guy. Okay, we're looking for the coal. Is it all the way out here? Yeah. Oh man. This is quite far. Just wonder, is there any water that's closer that would make more sense? Looking for water in the desert. What's over this ridge here? Oh yikes. Is that water down there? It's too far for me to see in this fog. You know, even if it is water, getting down there at this stage in the game would be quite an undertaking. And I'm not convinced that it is water. Okay, so for now we'll set up our what is this? What is this water? How much water do we have? Oh man, I want to check this out. This looks, I mean, this is tempting right here, right? Just we need more space than this, but is there space available down there? I need taller foundations for this. Okay, so no, unfortunately, this is just a cave with a slug. Sulfur. What's down here? Spitter, Mercer, sphere. Oh, this is. Oh no, I'm like swimming in the water. Okay, that was way too close. So the water is actually invisible. Small bug there. Okay. Now to get out. This is my preferred method. Just build the ladder as you climb up. And then collect your resources. Okay, well that costs us a little time, but always fun to explore. Pick up this sulfur, we need it. Need the sulfur to continue unlocking the sulfur tech tree in the MAM, so that we can unlock our detonators and expose that Caterium node near our base. Okay, let's find those coal nodes again and put down a few miners. And it looks like we'll just be belting it for now, which is not ideal, but you know, once we unlock the vehicles, the vehicular transport milestone, we can change this up. Okay. 2 Mark II miners. These nodes are both pure, right? Pure, yeah. So these will produce at a rate of 120 per minute. We're just going to run the power over to the water. quite a distance here. That's a pretty big pack of the fluffy-tailed hogs. Oh man, this is just gonna be a nightmare to belt because we need to use the reinforced iron plates for the Mark II belts. We don't have a lot of those. Look at that distance. That's just almost 400 meters. Yikes. Okay. So where to set up our generators? You want we're gonna want a fairly large plot of land. I'm sure there are ways to do this that is more compact, but initially I'm gonna have a fairly large setup, lots of space in between, just so we're really clear on what's happening with our fluid. Need to clear this guy out, he's in my way. Without dying. Just slowly regaining some health. There we go. Okay, so let's find a point. It's relatively flat, that'll give us enough space. I guess we have to go continue our foundations from the base. Another consideration is the height, like how much vertical height is between your generators and the water line. The higher you travel from your extractors to your generators, the more pumps you'll need to propel the water up the incline. Okay. So let's just go all the way across. It's gonna be more beneficial to be closer to the coal. Like that's more of a consideration than distance from our main factory. You know, it's really easy to run a line of power poles. Much more resource intensive to run, you know, the lines of belts and pipes over a long distance. Nearly out of concrete, but could have expected that. We've got plenty at our base, just waiting to be claimed. Okay, so we'll probably build, I guess, right here on this hill. It's a little taller than I'd want, but I guess the alternative is just to bust out the chainsaw and clear this all out. Maybe that's the way to go. Probably is. Probably is. Let's put a ramp. Okay. Alrighty. First step, let's eat some berries. Let's make a few storage boxes. Put them here under the ramp. Now let's grab our biofuel. Okay. This is not going to be the most entertaining gameplay, I apologize. But we've got to make some space for our generators. And it really is ideal to have them closer to the water level. Each pump, each pump can compensate for 20 meters of vertical head lift. I think this is 8 meters, right? 4, 8. It's 12, 16. So that would be 20 meters right there if we went all the way up there. That's really not too bad. But is this on the same level as this? We probably need 2 pumps. Better just to do it on the ground. And we can still align it with our main base once we've got more concrete.
The mycelia within this fungus suggests strong molecular bonding features frequently observed in adhesives and medicine, both beneficial for field research. A new research tree can now be accessed in the NAM.
Okay, unlock the mycelia tree, that's cool. To pick that quartz up, it'll block our construction. Out of space, okay. So maybe one more clearing and we'll have enough space to get started here. Don't need the limestone. Put my biofuel away. There we go. So, things to consider when starting your fluid setups. I mentioned a really large amount of variables earlier. So let's start with the coal generators. Each coal generator requires 15 coal per minute and 45 cubic meters of water per minute. Obviously, the coal portion of this math is easy. You know, each pure node with a Mark I miner will produce 120 per minute. So that's not an issue. The issue comes with the water extractors. Each water extractor can produce at a rate of 120 cubic meters per minute. And the pipes can only handle a flow of 300 cubic meters per minute. So you see a lot of info on the internet right now and in the discords saying that the ideal setup is 3 water extractors to 8 coal generators to 1 Mark I miner and a pure node. And all of that, all of those setups are excluding the fact that the the pipes can only carry 300 cubic meters per minute because 3 water extractors at 120 cubic meters each, that's 360. So you're exceeding the amount of flow that your pipes can handle. So what we're going to be doing here is we're going to have a setup of 2 water extractors per 5 coal generators. Some uranium nearby, right there. So 5 generators at 45 cubic meters each. That's 225 cubic meters of water that's required for those 5, and the 2 extractors will produce 120 each. That's 240 cubic meters total between the 2. So we'll have a little bit of extra water. That's what you want. And on the coal side of the equation, our 2 nodes producing 120 each. That's 240 total. Each generator requires 15. 5 times 15 is 75. So we can have 3 groups of 5 generators supported by our 2 coal nodes. And so 3 groups of 5 generators will mean 3 groups of 2 water extractors, so 6 water extractors total. Alright, let's just run back to the base really quickly, get some concrete to start setting up these foundations. Let's pick up the stuff we actually need here and leave all this biomass. I'll take this, trash this, take those, leave these. Anything else? Okay. Take. Actually, we can leave a lot of this stuff. We don't need to take it back with us. This will take. Okay. Excellent. So, while we're back there, we'll need to grab concrete, the copper sheets, and as many reinforced iron plates as we've made so far. So we'll take all the copper sheets, all the reinforced plates, and then as much concrete as we can carry. Oh no, is this not level? Did I go down? Oh, what a disaster. Alright. Well, we'll fix that at a later point. The main concern here is that it is aligned. Is this extra concrete? Good. Okay. Why are these blinking? Oh, they're out of ore, of course. Okay, we'll dump all this stuff into our research chest for later. Grab our copper sheets. Okay, that's a good start. Reinforced iron plates are next. Okay, it's fine, better than I'd hoped for. And then all the concrete we can carry. Okay, excellent. Actually, let's just go ahead and empty this storage container so that we continue producing concrete. Good. So I'm going to be setting these up in clusters of 5 generators, each fed by 2 water extractors. And we'll need to set up 3 lines of coal from our 2 miners, so we'll just merge them together, and then have each miner feeding 1 line and then merging into a 3rd line. Okay. Let's set up our foundations. Let's go back to the thin ones, the 1 meter thick foundations. And let's find a height that we can work with here. Yeah, that looks good. Actually, let's consider, I think we went down twice. Should have made note of this. I love the lighting in this game. Like, it's such a stark difference in the day and the night. Yeah, looks like we went down 2 meters. There's no way to remove that large tree, so we'll have to build around it. Probably going to build right up and down this coast right here. Okay, so this foundation is level with the end of this ramp, but this will all be moving up 2 meters once we correct that. I guess the road coming from our base. This is still close enough to the water line that we won't need more than 1 pump to compensate for the height. Okay. Let's consider here. We want to go farther out. Yeah. Let's get as close to this dune as we can. That looks good. Confident that eventually we'll want to have our coal coming in by truck and not by belt. We'll probably set up a truck depot, truck station on this side, maybe over here. Yeah. So we'll plan for a truck depot right here. And we'll feed our coal to our generators. And we'll have the line of generators here. We could even have the water coming from one direction and the coal from the opposite. That's fine. I really wish we had the stackable pipe supports, but it's not a huge deal. And in fact, right now they're bugged. You can't use them in conjunction with the stackable conveyor pole supports. Like ideally, you could put down a stackable conveyor pole that's stackable, and then on top of that you could have a pipe that's stackable. Is this giant tick stuck in the concrete? Can he clip through it? Okay, he can go. Good. All right. So if the coal is coming in here, and remember we'll need 3 lanes of coal to supply our 3 groups of 5 generators. What is the best way to lay these out? I think it makes the most sense. Because of this dune here, we want to keep everything level. We'll continue building out to the east. We'll have our water extractors. This lake here, we just need room for 6. We've got plenty of room for 6. But we want to do it in a way that's as clean as possible. And the issue with water extractors is that there's no way to like snap them into alignment. You just kind of have to eyeball it. You obviously can't build foundations in the water that you could put the extractors on, unfortunately. Alright. Power, coal generators. Oh, we need to go collect our resources. Swap this. Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes the most sense. And that's easy to manage. We'll have a line of, if our coal's coming in here, what we'll do is we'll set up three conveyor poles for coal. One for each line. And these lines won't be full, they won't be equal, but I guess it actually makes sense to split, or to do the merging and splitting here. That way we only have to belt over 2 lines of coal rather than 3. So our coal will come in here and here for now. This will be easy to change once we've got the truck station. I'm just using Mark 1 belts. I'll change these to Mark 2 in a second. And then we need to merge them. Put a splitter here. Splitter here. Try to line up those arrows. And a merger between. Can I fit the merger in there? Okay, that's not too bad. We need more space though. That's the general idea. close to that center line as we can on the foundation, using foundation as a guide. And of course, okay, this one is snapping into alignment. I like that. Then we'll get a merger. Unfortunately, it's not snapping. 2. So I guess the center of this. Close enough. Merge, merge. So while initially, this will. Oh, no wonder. This is not right. That splitter wasn't on the belt for some reason. Okay. Splitter. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Is it on the belt? It looks like it. Now a merger. In the middle. So while initially we'll have 120 coming in on this belt, it'll split 60 and 60. Same here, 60 and 60. So this will be merged into 120, while the other lanes here will only have 60 each. Once the center lane is completely saturated, the belts will back up and they'll start feeding these other two outer belts. And eventually the overflow will compensate, and they'll each lane will be receiving sufficient coal. Let's make sure all these belts are moving the same way really quickly. Okay, good. Now we can just do one of these. There we go. And actually, I think we want to go up one more height, so we can have our pipes running below the belts. So just using the Mark I belts for now, we'll replace them with the reinforced iron plates once we've got our setup running here. So we're going to set up our first cluster of coal generators. Now they've changed the model to account for the addition of the water. So I'm going to try to line this up. Let's give ourselves a little bit of space. I'm going to try to center the coal generator where these two foundations meet. And then we'll just go down the row here and mimic that, make sure they're aligned. Leaving a fair amount of space between them. Do I have... okay. Guess I have more space than I need in the back, but that's fine. Okay. And our last coal generator. We're almost out of time for this episode. We didn't actually do anything with fluid. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not quite enough. So what we want here is to have our fluid running below these 3 lines of coal. Okay. So we need to set up, for these 5 coal generators, we need 2 water extractors. You just go straight out here. Out of concrete. We're going to at least get our 2 water extractors set up before we end this episode. They look pretty cool. So one thing about water extractors, they need a deep enough source of water to function. Shallow water won't cut it. Okay, moving all the way here. Now with this height, we'll need to place some pumps. It's not a problem. I'm wondering actually if I should just... Probably. Let's... Okay. Going down. Perfect. Okay. So now we've got foundations that are just above the water line. And still aligned with our platform. Let's go to production, water extractor, and let's see if this is deep enough. Okay, this is deep enough. There's a tree there, not deep enough. Okay, so right here, this looks good. Let's try to align it with the intersection of these 2 foundations, just so we have a ballpark marker of where we can put our junction. And now we're going to come onto the other side here. Flip this around. And fall into the water. All right. Nice. Let's remove these above us here. So the water extractors look really cool. We'll add our junction. No, we need the pipes first. So there's a new method of building for pipes and hypertubes. Once you're in the build mode here with your blue outline, you can hit the R button, and we'll switch to conveyor 2D mode, vertical mode, or the default mode. Default is, I guess, the most freeform mode. The conveyor 2D mode, I'm not really clear on what the difference is between the conveyor 2D mode. The vertical mode tends to snap more closely for like 90-degree angles moving vertically, which is nice. Like this, see this 90-degree angle there? Default is just a straight line. Conveyor 2D, unclear what the difference is. But vertical we'll add those nice 90-degree turns. So we place our pipes. Let's grab our junction. And if we hop on top, we can kind of try to eyeball this as closely as we can. We'll add the junction. And we can just connect each extractor to the pipes. Let's take a look here. We're not powered up right now, but target production rate is 120 cubic meters per minute. The extractor has like a reservoir in itself that can hold up to 200 cubic meters. It says that the maximum flow rate is 600 cubic meters per minute, and this is the actual flow rate once it's powered up. But the pipes themselves have a max flow rate of 300 cubic meters per minute. So I assume that at some point in the later update we'll be getting like Mark II pipes with an increased max flow rate. We'll see. Okay, this is where we're going to end the episode right now. We're over an hour. Sorry about that. We'll pick up right here in the next episode, hooking up these two water extractors to our coal generators. So thanks for watching. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I am. Please smash those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't, and I'll see everyone in the next episode.